Russell, thanks so much for your time. I imagine quite a number of sleepless nights, long negotiations to encourage British Airways to finally take that step. Take us through how that happened.
Certainly. What we had to do was really put together a business case so that it makes good commercial sense, much like any kind of investment. So on behalf of Invest Durban for the Investment Authority of eThekwini Municipality, you can have a wonderful destination, you can have a great location, but ultimately it does come down to what is the business case that you put forward and the best foot forward. So we partnered with Hamish and the team at Dubai Tradeport to try and help that business case, drawing on local business leadership to engage in conversations with British Airways on a very commercial, investor, business-centric manner.
And those relations, I imagine, a government was a key player in those negotiations. We do know that for some time previously, relations between business and government have not been in the best way. What's that looking like now?
The climate right now really, and this is one of the unique benefits of Durban, is we have uniquely had a very strong partnership and relationship between business structures and between government structures. So we have things like the KZN Growth Coalition here, which is co-chaired by government and business leadership. In the Durban Chamber of Commerce, for example, whilst I work full-time for government, I'm also a director of the Durban Chamber of Commerce. So we are a very relational city, a very relational province, and so that's translated into structures which we use together to go out and promote not only tourism, but also trade and investment opportunities together.
When we spoke with the MEC for KZN, Sihle Zigalala, earlier, he was telling us about a number of investment projects that were currently underway in the province and in the city to certainly ensure the viability and the sustainability of that route. It's a new dawn. Are you expecting an increase in that investment pipeline in the city and the province?
Absolutely. And we need to also make mention of National Treasury. National Treasury for a couple of years now have been focusing intensively in what they call their city support program with the 8 metros, and it's largely been around accelerating investment. So working directly with eThekwini Municipality, getting us to better package and better process what we are now calling our catalytic projects.
Sure.
So that catalytic projects is largely a collection of private sector large projects, which as the city, through our Deputy City Manager's Office, the City Manager and the Mayor, have got a catalytic projects team now focusing on those top 20, 25 projects, working in partnership with the business owners to accelerate them faster than they would have ordinarily happened. So it's a concentrated effort to accelerate and populate the pipeline so that all in Durban and Greater KwaZulu-Natal can benefit.
For sure, and it's about all benefiting. Talk to me about your strategy to ensure that as the city of Durban certainly increases, it grows inclusively, such as small businesses playing a bigger role and then women-owned businesses also getting a bigger stake of that pie.
Yeah, so I'll give you 2 examples. For example, with Invest Durban, we recently did an entirely new strategy and structure working in partnership with global experts from Washington, D.C., National Treasury. And in putting that strategy together, one of the conscious legs in our mandate is to ensure local SMMEs participate in the value chains of the large multinationals that come here. So with the likes of whether it be Samsung or Toyota or Unilever, all who have significant facilities here, we have a stated objective and teams in eThekwini's business support unit to help mobilize, inform and empower local SMMEs to plug into those value chains. And the British Airways example is no different. British Airways understand that language, they're fully into deepening the local partnerships, and they've committed in terms of what British Airways will be investing to partner with local SMMEs so that it's a mutually beneficial contract and arrangement.
And Russell, just allow me just to probe you quickly on the politics, if you don't mind. KZN, a lot of concerns about the political instability or the alleged political instability in the region. To what extent is this hindering on your ability to attract more investments here?
All I would say is there was a story anecdotally that was told to me by a senior business person from another country on another continent. And this conversation came up. And interestingly enough, his response was, he's finding too often in South Africa, people focus on the politics and on the political dynamics and the political groupings. His recommendation, which I fully agree with, is let's leave the politics to the politicians. The rest of us, we also have our job to do. They have their job to do, and they'll do it well, and they'll get it done. The rest of us, we have an investment job to do. We have a tourism promotion job to do. We have factories to build. We have schools to open. So let's focus on the knitting and not be too distracted by things which A, we don't have much control over, and B, they may happen, they may not happen. And lead with action. Lead with good news. Lead with delivery. And that will help to bring the politics to align with the success stories of increasing tourism numbers, of increasing investment, etc. The delivery will help focus the mind, rather than the other way around and perhaps having other things happen.